India to reciprocate the warm greetings and the hospitality. All indeed does seem to be well. All indeed does seem to be on track between India and the United States at the moment. In fact, in an interview which will come in India Today, an exclusive interview that Barack Obama has given India Today, the US President says the stars are just right for the two countries at the moment. And I think that defines what has happened, this unique moment between the two countries. As I said, there are sustained exchanges between the two leaderships, and that in itself augurs well for the future. Shweta said this would be Barack Obama's last visit to India as the US President. Who knows? He still has a year and 10 months to go. He might be back, and we might have another roundtable when the US President is back in this country. The fact is that the once estranged democracies seem to be finding increasing common ground and mutual interests. And yet, like with any relationship, there are challenges to overcome. Today's roundtable will aim to highlight those challenges and set the stage for the road ahead. A decade ago, we might have obsessed with Pakistan, or even while talking to Washington. Now we look at the United States from dimensions that go well beyond Islamabad, from energy security to the Indo-US nuclear deal, from climate change to trade and business, from education to the growing influence of NRIs. This relationship now operates at multiple levels. 4 months ago, when we held the first India Today Global Roundtable in New York, one of the speakers candidly admitted, one of the American speakers candidly admitted that while we may not be strategic allies, we certainly can be friends and partners. This roundtable in Delhi aims to set the terms of that partnership. Shredding the baggage of the past, India and the United States could well be a defining partnership of the 21st century. It is with that spirit of hope that today's roundtable is taking place. On the menu, as you will find at lunch, are stars and stripes, but also in true Indian style, a little bit of spice, enough to stimulate the mind. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, and the viewers out there for being here and being part of this global summit that will play all day on Headlines Today and Aaj Tak, so you will be able to watch it in your homes and the warmth of your homes. As they would say in New York, let the show begin. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rajdeep. Can I request you to stay on stage? Well, to begin our first conversation, from Washington, D.C. to New Delhi, bridging the distance between India and the U.S. And for this conversation, can I please invite Ambassador Nirupama Rao? She's been former ambassador to the U.S. Also someone who's often been described as a tireless champion of the Indo-US strategic partnership, and it was during her tenure that the relationship between the two countries touched new heights. She has been India's envoy to China and Sri Lanka, among other countries, and has recently completed a year's fellowship at Brown University and is working on a book on politics of history, India and China, 1949 to 1962. Thank you very much, Ambassador Rao, for being here. Rajdeep, it's over to you.
Ambassador Rao will first make a few preliminary remarks, and then we'll set the stage for an audience interaction and questions that we've asked on social media and Twitter for Ambassador Rao. So I'm going to ask Ambassador Rao to really set the stage for today's global roundtable by telling us what she sees as the road ahead and the roadblocks possibly to a full-blown India-US partnership. Ambassador Rao.
Thank you, Rajdeep. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here this morning before such a distinguished audience and to speak on a subject which I believe is of enormous importance to both India and the United States. That is the forthcoming visit of the President of the United States, Barack Obama, to India at the invitation of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and to be present here on what is indeed a very important occasion for more than 1 billion Indians, our Republic Day. My talk is entitled, At the Request of India Today, From Washington, D.C. to New Delhi, Bridging the Distance Between India and the United States. Early this week, on the eve of the forthcoming visit of President Obama to India for Republic Day, as I just said, at the invitation of Prime Minister Modi, in the White House, the United States Deputy National Security Advisor, Benjamin Rhodes, talking to reporters, described the uniqueness of the visit, calling it transitional, if not transformational, moment in the relations between the United States and India. Now, the adjective transformational suggests that a historic moment is upon us as far as this crucial bilateral relationship is concerned. A few months ago, when Prime Minister Modi went to Washington, we heard the refrain of Chale Saath Saath, forward together we go, yet another description that suggested a new paradigm for this relationship. The image of the American president and our Prime Minister in the shadow of the Martin Luther King Memorial, reflecting on the greatness of leaders like King and Mahatma Gandhi, implied the forging of a unique personal bond between Mr. Obama and Mr. Modi, a bond that reassured the world that our two countries had emerged from the shadows of the crisis that had so threatened our relationship as 2013 drew to a close. And just yesterday, the Prime Minister tweeted that the next episode of his monthly radio address, Man Ki Baat, will be, as I quote him, a special one where our Republic Day guest at Barack Obama and I will share our thoughts together, unquote. This meeting of minds will be definitely one to remember. So after the chill of last year, spring is upon us once again. India and the United States have restored the balance, the equilibrium in their relations, and they are ready to go forward, exploring new initiatives, unclogging blockages to bilateral cooperation, avoiding, I hope, unpleasant surprises, and learning to discuss their differences in a manner more mature and grown up than in the past. No longer are we saddled with the images of a faltering partnership or a relationship in a rut, as some described it not so long ago. Both the US President and the Indian Prime Minister have jointly enunciated last September that the strategic partnership between America and India, I quote, rests on our shared mission to provide equal opportunity for our people through democracy and freedom, unquote. A new playbook is being fashioned, one I hope that will endure and be useful and relevant in diverse situations, proving the value of diplomacy that is creative, innovative, and not risk-averse.